guys, today I'm here to do my May movie wrap-up. I think I watched like 15 or 16 movies, so I have a lot to get through. I'm going to try and do a brief synopsis of the movie and what I thought of it, and hopefully this video won't be too long. Okay, so the first movie that I watched in May was The Shape of Water. I had heard so many great things about this movie, so I decided to pick it up. The trailer just didn't look like anything I would care about, but I thought I'd try it anyway. And I'm really sorry that I did because I didn't end up liking this movie. There were a lot of things that I had a problem with in this movie. Plus, I thought it was really cheesy. I know it was supposed to be like fantastical and everything, but it just really didn't hit that mark for me. And I gave this 1.5 stars. Next, I rewatched Labyrinth. I actually went to the theaters to see this, and it was well worth it. I loved seeing it on the big screen. If you guys are a fan of Labyrinth and you have the opportunity to see it in theaters, I definitely recommend it. So needless to say, I gave this 5 stars. Next, I watched The Pianist. For some reason, I've been wanting to watch this since I was really young. I've always really liked Adrian Brody, and I thought it would just be a movie about him playing the piano. I had no idea it was going to be as dark as it was. This is a true story of a Polish pianist, and it's him and his family being put in a concentration camp. It was absolutely devastating, and I almost couldn't get through it. It was beautifully made, but it was just such a hard topic to watch. But I think they did do a really great job on this, and I give this 4 stars. Every year on May the 4th, I watch the first 3 original Star Wars movies, so I watched those again this year. They are the best in my opinion, and I gave them all 5 stars again. Then I watched La Vie en Rose. I was interested to see what Edith Piaf's life was kind of like, and I think this movie did a perfect job on depicting it. Another hard one to get through, but it was beautifully made, and I gave this 3.5 stars. Next, I watched Dracula Dead and Loving It. I had never seen this, and I heard that it was pretty funny, so I decided to watch it. It was really funny, and I'm glad that I checked it out, but it was total nonsense. This is Leslie Nielsen playing Dracula. I really liked Leslie Nielsen. I thought he was absolutely hilarious in all of the movies that he was in. But it did get a little ridiculous, and it just went on a little too long for me, and I gave this 2.5 stars. Next, I watched My Cousin Rachel. I had just recently read the book, so I wanted to watch the movie, and this was a big letdown. I probably shouldn't have watched it right after reading it, because I noticed a lot of things that weren't in the book that they put in the movie. I also didn't like that they cursed throughout the entire movie. I don't like cursing in general, but this movie didn't take place in a time that they would have been doing this, and they didn't do it in the book, so I don't really know why they added it to the movie. I felt like I was really into the story, and then they would curse and it would kind of pull me out of the film. I just really didn't feel like it fit in the movie, and they really shouldn't have done it. So I gave this one 2 stars. Next, I watched Happy Death Day. I had seen a trailer for this and knew it was going to be pretty bad, but I wanted to try it anyway. This is kind of like the movie Groundhog Day, only every day she gets murdered. I really liked the movie up until the end when it turned a little too serious for me, so I gave this one 2 stars. Next, I watched The Greatest Showman, and I was extremely disappointed in this film. I really love musicals, and Zac Efron's in it, and I really like him, but all of the songs sounded kind of country to me, and I'm not a big fan of country music, and I felt like all of the actors were taking this role way too seriously. At about the halfway mark, I was laughing so hard throughout the entire thing. I just kept looking at other people's reviews as I watched this to see why people loved it so much, because I thought it was extremely cheesy. Again, I think this would have been pretty good if they hadn't taken everything so seriously, but it was just absolutely ridiculous. I know a lot of people really like this movie, including most of my family, but this one just really wasn't for me, so it got 1 star, and that was just because I like Zac Efron. Next, I watched The Big Sick. This is a true story of a guy who ends up breaking up with his girlfriend, but then he finds out that she has gone into a coma, so he decides to stay at the hospital with her. And her parents are there, so it's just the 3 of them having to hang around each other even though he's not really with her anymore. I was really surprised by this film. It didn't look like something I would really care for, but I had heard some great things about it, and I'm really glad that I checked it out because I really did like this movie, and I gave this 3.5 stars. Then I watched Dave Made a Maze. I was scrolling on Hulu one night and I decided to watch it. This is about a guy who makes kind of like a labyrinth of boxes in his living room, and he gets stuck in there, and his girlfriend and his friends have to try and go in and get him out. But it's kind of like the TARDIS. Once you go in, it's a lot bigger on the inside. I was really surprised by this movie. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. It was so different from anything I've ever seen before. There was some gore in it, but it really wasn't bad because everything is done with paper. It was kind of like a crossover of Alice in Wonderland and Labyrinth, which are 2 of my favorite movies. I thought about doing a review on this, so if that sounds like something you want to watch, let me know and I'll do one. Otherwise, I'll just say I would definitely recommend this movie, and I gave it 4 stars. The last movie I watched in May was Lost in London. This is a true story of Woody Harrelson being arrested in London one evening. and he decided to do a live movie of this, which I believe is the first ever live movie that they streamed in theaters. So while he was filming it in downtown London, people were watching it in theaters there. This has Woody Harrelson, obviously, and Owen Wilson is in it. I really loved the banter between the two of them. They were both kind of making fun of all of the movies that they were in, but it was amazing to watch a movie that was shot live with just one camera, and they didn't seem to have too many mistakes. It was an interesting film to watch, and I gave this 3 stars. Okay, so those are the movies that I watched in May. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies and what you thought of them. Also, let me know what your favorite movie was in May, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!